And a very good Saturday afternoon to you. I'm Carol Radull. Ah, where are my boys? These guys just like escaping from the studio. They're never serious with their work, but I think it is because of what we're about to discuss. You know, Manchester United beat Liverpool the other day, so Kenny has been sulking, and then Roy, who's been on top of the world. I mean, we all saw what happened against Sevilla at Old Trafford midweek. So yeah, I've got two drama queens in the studio today, and it's just hell on earth. By the way, I'm adopting you as a sport
as
analyst.
An intern?
No.
Oh, okay, just checking.
I know you're a fan.
I'm a very big fan. How's Arsenal doing? I have some milk in the car.
We're called Masafaras. We are called Masafaras. By the way, I'm so used to it.
You're used to the milk jokes. That's the one that gets me the most. How are your ulcers doing, Carol?
I need maziwa. You have maziwa in the car?
I have maziwa in the car.
Going to the car.
Don't worry, we'll have maziwa, milkshake, anything just to ease the pain. We are about to go for lunch and we will be taking Carol Radull out of the studio. As you've seen, we've hijacked her here. We'll be taking her for lunch at the Jay's Kitchen in a few minutes. Let's do that. This is Ride with Messi. You want to ride with me?
Let's ride.
Are you sure that you're going to arrive safe? I'll
take my chances. I'm a national fan. I'm used to suffering. I'll take my chances.
Let me do the honors. This is the first time and probably the last time.
Wow, Betty's opening the door for me. Thank you.
This is gonna be a first, so you better savor the moment.
You know how to treat your guests. Wow. Car.
I know, it's a nice car. Smells like a...
Oh, it's amazing.
Yep. Showroom car, baby. Smells all new. Just under 1,000 kilometers.
When I grow up, I want one of these.
I know. I'm already grown. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, like I mentioned, I have the lovely Carol Radull. Drums roll. All right, so of course, you know Carol Radull, sports journalist. Many years, media personality, a lovable character that I know. This is the first time, but I'll say all these nice things about you. But anyway, that's true. She's an amazing person, and of course, a lover of Arsenal. Through the good, the bad times, the painful times, mostly.
By the way, the good was so long ago. I can't remember.
We should just sit and just reminisce. Gone are the days.
Gone are the days when we had an invincible team that was unbeaten.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Let me take her for some lunch. I think she needs it because of the heartbreak she's endured over the last couple of months. All right, let's do this. Ride with Betty, baby. Really nice meeting you.
How come they never treat me like this? That's because they see me every day. Oh.
All right, Carol Radull.
Yes.
What don't people know about you?
Oh my goodness.
Just one thing that you think people know about you, but they actually don't. Because what we know about you, you love sports, you're, you know, an amazing sports journalist.
I consider myself an open book.
Okay.
But I did sort of change careers. We'll go like this, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's the one who's giving me directions today because I'm in her hood. I've just picked her up from work.
Hood.
This is her hood. So I'm going to listen, follow instructions.
No, you know, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a theatre person. I wanted to literally
be like an actress?
On stage. Yeah,
Really?
but stage acting, not even movies or TV.
Oh,
stage
okay.
acting. And I did that for a few years. But unfortunately, way back when, and I won't say how long ago because I lie to people that I'm 19. So
of course you're 19. Look at you. Mostly 20. Yezi Peter Hapo.
Yeah, but back then it never paid bills.
Okay.
Now I'm happy to see that people who do theatre and act get paid.
Yeah.
But back then I didn't pay bills, so I had to, in quotes, get a real job.
Right.
And begin to pay my bills. And media is not that different because sometimes we act, you know.
We act all, don't you think it's all the times we act?
No.
Okay.
You know,
most times.
I try to be as natural as I am in my
too.
life. Like
Me
when I'm doing my show on radio,
Yes.
it is me.
Yes.
That is how I speak.
No, that's for sure.
That is
left or right?
Left. Back onto Wayaki way. So I am as natural as I can be. I would not be able to fake it I've been doing my show for 12 years.
Wow.
So if I was acting, trust me, I would have been exposed by now.
Yeah, you'd be so tired of faking it.
Yeah.
No, but I get it. And I think the most, the reason why viewers enjoy, you know, some personalities because they're more natural on air and they look like they actually want to be there.
It's not a job anymore.
Yeah.
I don't consider my radio show a job. I have a job. From Monday to Monday, but I don't consider the radio show a job because
you enjoy it.
If I was not in the studio, chances are I'd be sitting around with my friends discussing the same thing.
The same thing.
Watching what you say is the only other thing for radio because as much as you want to be natural,
Yes.
there are certain things you can't say. And it's not just radio, it's social media, right?
Exactly,
You know, you're in the
yes.
limelight, the things you can't... There are times I'm just going grrrr and I want to... Not necessarily insult someone. I don't encourage swearing.
Yes.
But I want to react in a certain way, and you have to think, hey,
something.
people watch me, people look up to you, you know, such things. So you can't just
Do stuff.
say things the way you would say them. I say them. I don't say them the way I would say them.
The way you would say them. So it has been 12 years, you know, since you started your career on radio.
No, since I started my show.
Your show on
It's
radio.
been like 2 decades since I started radio. I worked for the BBC.
Yes.
Radio. I started doing news when I first came to radio. I've been at Radio Africa for 18 years.
Wow.
So
What do they give you there that makes you keep going back and staying for that long?
cash money! But I should ask for a raise.
All right. So you have been doing your show for 12 years now.
Yes.
How have you evolved from the person you were when you started out to the person who you are right now? I can imagine that, you know, being a sports show, I mean, maybe there were many people who questioned, like, what does this girl know about football or whatever?
There was a lot of that in the beginning. There was a lot of that in the beginning. I was actually reminding somebody the other day how I started the show with Maina Kageni, and we did it together for about 1.5 years.
Yes.
And it was easy because I was a sidekick. You know, you laugh, you react, you
don't
even know what's
main...
really going on. You just wait to be asked and you answer, you know.
Yes.
Then after about 2 years, when he got tired of it, and the guys at the station were like, why don't you take over the show? And I was like, can I? You know, I'm like, oh, I've never thought of it that way.
That way. You didn't see yourself, you know, being the main person.
Being the main person.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, why not? I love talking about sport. I like watching sport.
Yes.
I like to think I have a profile. I know I have a voice for radio. I have a face for both radio and TV.
And TV, yeah.
But I was given the challenge. I said, let me look for a Liverpool and Man United supporter. Roy Karuhize was working at Radio Africa at the time, head of
Roy's
creative.
cool people.
We're going to turn left up here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
It's actually here on the corner.
All right.
And Roy was a Man United supporter. Kieni's brother was a good friend of Mina's. And he used to do the show with me before, but he also got busy. And Kieni being a Liverpool fan, it just worked out well. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United.
Perfect.
And then I took it over and I was like, actually, this thing, it isn't as hard as I thought.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm talking about. Though, of course, people
so you
who are
have the
doubting you.
content and everything.
You have to know your content because people will judge you before you even open your mouth.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, that's a chick on radio talking
I know.
about sports.
What does she know?
What does she know?
Yeah.
You know?
So how long did it take before you were very comfortable, you know, doing the show to the point where now people started listening to you every single
It was
Saturday?
actually almost instant.
Instant, okay.
Because even before I started doing the show, I used to do the news. And we used to have sports news. So I would read out the sports news, and I think that's where they even started. Not many stations started adapting where the main newsreader also does the sports news.
Okay.
Before that, there would be a specific sport broadcaster.
Yes, exactly.
And
Yes,
Mr. Patrick Kwako and his genius were like, why am I paying 2 people when I can pay 1?
To do both.
And it works out.
Yeah.
We're just reading the sports news.
Yes,
But then I'd read it and I would be it. I wouldn't just read the
Read it.
results.
I
I'd
get
be
it.
like, whoa,
I
really?
get
You
it.
know, because that is the natural reaction.
Yes.
And I think I was fortunate in that people warmed up to me very quickly. It helped that I kicked it off with Maina Kageni. So we already had listeners.
Yes.
And then I think people really quickly realized she actually knows what she's talking about. But then later on came the local football angle, because I sat one day and I was like, okay, you watch all these things on TV, but what is in our own football?
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
I used to watch Harambee Stars. I didn't really used to watch the league. And I was like, why can't our football one day become like this one on TV?
Right.
But I was shocked that people don't even go to the stadium.
And that's where my next question would be, because you were part of the initiative to, encourage many Kenyans to go into the stadiums, Jaza study. Did it work?
It didn't work the first time around, simply because we didn't have a structure around Jazaring study. It didn't even have a name. It was Radull who woke up one Sunday morning. Okay, what's that noise?
No. It's the car telling me that you're close to an object.
Oh!
So you don't get to hit nobody.
The car
or
speaks.
anything, yeah. So it tells you.
So the first time around, it was literally me waking up on Sunday and calling everybody on my phone and telling them, let's go to the stadium. I was shocked the first time because guys were like, what do you mean? Kenya has a league?
Yeah.
I'm going to do what at the stadium? You know. And the first game, I went with a friend of mine who was an official at Coast Stars. And we were two of us, and then there were about less than 100 people in the entire Nyayo Stadium. And I was like,
less than 100 people?
Less than 100. I was like, this is good. The football is not bad. The game was fun. And I went in the next morning and I told Caroline we talk about it because she was doing the breakfast show, I was doing the news. And she asked me, can I come with you next week? And I'm like, of course, you know. And from there, we started calling Jalango and Lariasego, and I literally called everybody on my phone list and tell them, let's go and watch the game. And we became this big group of people. And we started this Kiss for Football on air. Coca-Cola jumped in and sponsored it. And we would literally rally people to go to the stadium. But because there was no structure, it didn't last. The minute Radull got too busy to go on Sunday, nobody went. So it sort of died out. And then 2 years ago, and these friends of mine approached me that we're starting this Jaza Study initiative and we'd like you to be part of it. I was like, oh, where do I sign? Where do I start? You know? So now we're doing it. We've registered a company. It's more structured. There's a monetary angle. So we have people who do certain tasks. So it's more structured. So hopefully we can sustain it for much longer because we need to make our football exciting again. We need people back in the stands.
And why is it that, Kenyans focus on the EPL, the UEFA, everything out there, but, when it comes to our local football, you don't get as much excitement and support from the millions of people who do give that support out there?
It's pretty basic. The EPL is well organized. There's money in the game, so they attract the best footballers in the world, the best coaches in the world, and they have the highest quality of the game. But those things will never happen if we don't invest in our game. And that's what I tell everybody. The quality of our football is nowhere near EPL. Our infrastructure is poor. Our players are, if they even paid, right now with no sponsors for the Kenyan Premier League, for all the leagues, players are suffering, clubs are suffering. They don't know if they can sustain themselves. But if it's never going to change and become like the EPL if we don't do something about it. So I keep telling people it starts with us as the fans. You can blame the government as long as you want. You can blame the federation. You can blame the KPL. But ask yourself, what am I doing? It costs you nothing. You already love football. Go to the stadium on Sunday. Pay that 100 or 200 bob. If you're enough people, that is money that goes directly to the club for their operational costs. That goes directly to the pockets of the players. And I don't believe corporates will ignore you if you're filling the stands week in, week out. They want crowds.
So it starts from the fans, the lovers of football.
It starts with the lovers of football.
And just listening to you, Carol, you're so passionate about football and just sports in general. Where did it start? Is it because you grew up with, boys, or what happened? Because it's quite different and quite unique.
It's partially. I had two brothers. Unfortunately, they both passed away. One was older, one was younger. My dad was a big football fan, but not crazy, because I grew up in Botswana, where football to watch was almost non-existent. But I remember my wall when I was a child had a poster of Kevin Keegan. At the time he was playing for Liverpool, wearing some little black shorts. I don't know if that attracted me. But as a young girl, so I shouldn't even say that.
No, probably not
But
that. Yeah.
instead of having, apart from Michael Jackson, who filled my wall, I had footballers on my wall. And I shared a room with my sister. So she had her female artist there.
Yeah.
And I had my Michael Jackson and footballers.
Yeah, yeah.
And we never crossed each other's wall. This is my side, that's your side.
That's your side.
And then I started watching football made in Germany. And then when Supersport came along and started bringing the English Premier League, I got interested in that. I'd always watch the World Cup because the national broadcasters always showed the World Cup. And I was like, I'm enjoying this stuff.
That's what you enjoyed
And
doing.
then, of course, I got hooked onto Arsenal. That actually started.
Well, how did it start by that? Your love for Arsenal
an
is just
affiliation
crazy.
for France. I used to support the France national team. I think because French Cultural Centre trained me in nearly everything I did. And I was a supporter of the France national team.
Right.
And when Wenger took over at Arsenal, he literally brought in all these French players. The late 99 and early century, those Thierry Henry, Sylvain Wiltord, Robert Pires. There were all these host of French players. So I was like, this is just France reignited in the English Premier League.
Yes. So that's why.
Yeah.
Then you fell in love with Arsenal.
I fell in love. And the problem with love